Hello, everybody. Welcome to Inside Cornerstone. We're having a great time watching our own show come on the air, and it's just a great day. And we appreciate you watching and being a part. Cornerstone First Global Methodist Church in Alexander City, and we've got some wonderful guests here, and going to have a show that takes a look at a lot of different things. Crystal, glad to have you,
welcome
girl.
to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome
That's
to the
right.
show.
This is Crystal Phillips. Everybody knows who she is.
She is.
Okay, and she's done a wonderful job at Jacob's Ladder. We'll be talking a little bit about Crystal and a lot less about David Hand.
Right. Hey.
Our co-host
I'm
there.
taking a
David's
break.
right over there.
Yeah. Hey, welcome, guys.
David, we always have a good time.
We
don't
do. It's always fun up here. We look forward to it every week. So, but welcome, Crystal.
Thank
welcome.
you. Thank you.
Okay, Crystal, let's talk about this past year. How did it go? Because you look back at about this time of year. You look back and you kind of do a quick inventory of how the year went. What went right, of course, and maybe what could have gone better. But as you look back, what kind of year did you have at Jacob's Ladder?
It's been great. We've had a lot of growth. We have a lot of new teachers that are doing really well, and it's really going well.
I love walking by and seeing those teachers. You know, they have a lot of enthusiasm, and they're having a good time too. And I noticed this, if we got just a second, and then I'll turn it over to David. You know, I have a tendency to run my mouth too much, but you had a graduation. I was honored to be able to say a prayer there. But, you know, to see all those parents and grandparents in there, and then here's a little 3-year-old that's learned how to say his name last week.
Right.
And he's coming up, and he's being recognized, or she, for graduating. And that's well supported, and I congratulate y'all on doing that.
Yeah, it was great. We had the pre-K and kindergarten graduation, and they loved it. Yeah. A lot of them, you know, they're stepping out from this setting into the real school setting.
And that's a step.
It's a big step.
Hey, that's a great. David?
I just want to say y'all do a tremendous job, all the teachers, I mean, everybody. And I've been here 14 years now this month, so I have watched our staff and our church leaders be more a part of Jacob Ladder than ever before.
That's good.
And we've had great leadership in Crystal over the last several years. I mean, she has made a world of difference.
Well, thank y'all.
In Jacob Ladder.
No doubt about that.
We just want to give a shout out and say, hey, if you have a kid out there and want to get on board with Jacob Ladder, come join us because it's a great place to come to.
And whether she wanted to or not, she became part of our staff.
Yeah. But, you know, it's funny because a lot of times when you're out on a lake and you go to an island where there are a lot of other people at, they'll say, what do you serve, what church you serve at? And I'll say what church, and they're always hesitant for a minute, and I'll say, well, Jacob Ladder. Where Jacob Ladder's at, and everybody say, yeah, we know where that's at. You know, so Jacob Ladder's out there, you know, and it's fun to pull up on the island and got kids, and you know, everybody recognize you, you know, and say, wow, he's the guy that goes into at Blue House every day. Yeah. So it's always fun to see the kids out and about. So great place.
Well, it's been a great blessing, Chris. I think you'll agree with this that the church and Jacob's Ladder have really come together this year, worked together on things and support each other. Not that it hasn't been like that in the past, I'm sure it has, but it seems like it's gone up a step.
Yes.
I think that contributes to the success we've had. Just being all on the same page, it really has.
Oh, well, I was in there bragging on the staff at a meeting we had on the Finance Committee about how our staff loves each other, and it got real mushy in there.
It get mushy?
Yeah. Okay. But we do have a close staff in our church, and the contingency of Jacob's Ladder get along great, and they all work together to try to not just help those kids, help all the kids that we have. And we have a ton of kids at church.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
You know, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I am. What's your favorite age group?
It's really hard for me to say.
I know you can't say it.
I know. Going in, I thought I was only the the oldest ones. But now I've changed just being here, and I really enjoy just watching the growth. Like when they come in as infants and being able to watch them with each step once they get over to the toddler hall, and they're just learning to, kind of prepare for the preschool age, and they start developing their own little personalities. It's really fun just to watch the whole growth.
And a lot of people think I'm crazy. I love the high school. We got a ton of high school kids I'm so proud of. But some of my favorite kids are the 7th graders and 8th graders. I love that age group. They want to have fun. They're all into everything. You can say, hey, let's spit balls up against the wall. And they're there.
Yeah.
I just love that age group. So I was just going to ask you sometimes, what's your favorite age group?
Yeah.
Well, the opportunity to make a difference in the life of those younger ones who haven't reached that spot yet is, that's a great opportunity.
Yeah,
and you're right there for them when they need you. I used to tell 7th graders that they weren't real people. I would say, y'all are just amoebas. You haven't formed yet. And really, I was right. You're not watching the show.
They are fun.
But as they grew up and got more mature, it was neat. And same thing happens in Jacob's Ladder. Some of the older kids start setting the example and start learning lessons. And, they learn about who Jesus was and what he said and what he did. And we have a lot of fun with that.
Mm-hmm. We do,
yeah. And I think the parents appreciate it. And we don't put any pressure on the parents to come. But we do have some parents sometimes that will come when they see that our church puts a high priority on young people. Doesn't matter if they're in Jacob's Ladder or where they are. They're all important to us, and we appreciate that. So what are you doing over the summer?
What's our song playing?
We have all sorts of stuff going on over the summer. We have several fun water days. That was this week. If you saw the big slides and the slip and slide, and then we'll have a trip to Bluebell. Our older kids, the K6 age, they are doing a lot. They went bowling yesterday. They do swimming lessons, and they go to the free swim. At the end of the month, they go to Choctawalla Farms, and that's kind of like an incentive that they're all working towards earning. And they have it's really set up really cute this year. We have where they get to study a different country each week, and they've got food tasting. Like last week, they had Chinese food brought in, and they'll have Mexican food. They have they're learning so much, but they don't realize they're learning. They're just having fun. So, and then with our younger age, we still do academics and everything, but we just do it a little bit differently in the summer to try to lighten it up, but prevent that regression over the summer. So it's a lot of fun.
And is it true that when you go to the Bluebell business there in Sylacauga that you need some older adults?
Oh, yes, we do.
He's trying to get it.
I'd like to hear a little more about that.
Yes. Yes, we need a chaperone. If you could join us, that'd be great.
Well, I wasn't really thinking about a chaperone as much as I was ice cream.
They have some great sugar-free ice cream. I started like the Bluebell sugar-free.
It's only $1 too.
Huh? Oh,
yeah, come on.
It's $1.
They give you
and they give you a big
like this.
Okay, all right.
For $1.
Yeah,
right.
like if you went somewhere else, it would probably be $5 to $7.
And you being David Hand, no telling. Well, I would think so.
And say, hey,
for probably as many people as you want.
But hey, me having a grandchild and me being around other people who are starting to have kids and stuff like that, and I would say this if you wasn't here, you hear about other daycares. I cannot think of another daycare that does so much with their children as Jacob Ladder.
Yeah.
I'll throw that out there. I know we got to go to break.
They certainly have that reputation, and they continue to do it. That's
sure. Amazing. Yeah. My daughter lives in Valley, an hour away, and she would give anything to be able to have a kid over here. So
that's great.
And she says that,
Yeah.
So thank y'all for what you do.
We enjoy it.
Absolutely, yeah. And we've got another segment coming up. I actually saw the light this time. And we have another segment. I think we'll just keep on trudging the way we're going, right?
Let's go.
All right, let's I'd like for y'all to vote. All in favor of continuing with this line of thought and interview here, just raise your hands. It can be in your home.
Or just send
There
Billy
you
a
go.
text message on the flip phone.
Yeah, sure. I'm always available. All right, and I say, okay, we'll be back with more about Jacob's Ladder with Crystal Phillips after these messages. Thanks for watching. God bless you.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Medicine Express Family Pharmacy, located conveniently at the corner of Airport Drive and Highway 280 in Alexander City, offers friendly service, convenient drive-through service, and can answer any questions on prescriptions and vitamins. Local family owned with 30-plus years of pharmacy experience, they also offer compounding services, which includes personalized hormone replacement, therapies, and pain gels. And they accept most insurance and discount cards. Go see them today at Medicine Express Family Pharmacy.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Amanda Scroggins with RE/MAX Around the Lake will cover every inch of Lake Martin's 880 miles of shoreline to find your family's dream home. Amanda's experience is top-notch, and she is consistently a top 10 RE/MAX agent in the state of Alabama. Her love for her clients is sincere and from the heart. Call her today at 256-749-6634 or visit her website, amandascroggins.com, today.
Looking for hometown service and name brands you can trust? Come to Presley Appliance and Furniture. From the best choice in appliances from Whirlpool, Maytag, Amana, and KitchenAid to home furnishings, Presley's is your one-stop shop for comfort and quality. And now we've added the Mattress Shop by Serta Simmons Bedding and top quality sheets and pillows from Caraloha. Shop Presley Appliance and Furniture on Cherokee Road in Alex City or online at PresleyAppliance.com. That's PresleyAppliance.com.
Inside Cornerstone welcomes Worthy and Mitchell Insurance as our brand new sponsor. These are great guys, offer all kinds of term and whole life insurance policies, and has a great cancer plan that involves radiation, chemotherapy treatments, surgery, everything that is associated with cancer. And call Skipper Worthy or Terry Mitchell today for more information. 256-329. Welcome back to Inside Cornerstone. Time out for a second. I was trying to tell Kane about the Huntley-Brinkley report back in the 60s. Everybody remembers that. So when I see you guys again, we'll talk about it and try to bring this generation of young people along, Huntley-Brinkley. But this isn't Huntley-Brinkley. Let's go a little further. Crystal, thanks for what? Why do you stay here with us like this? I mean, really, Crystal? What in the world am I doing here? I'd like to know this. What's the plans as you think ahead to next year? What do you see? I mean, is anything new, or what's your anticipation of how it's going to be next year?
I think that it will look a lot like this past year. Of course, we're always we always want to improve, and we always want to find ways that we can improve, but don't want to throw out a whole bunch of change because things are going well. So I could see it going along the same lines, still having Sanctuary weekly. That's one of our favorite times of the week, and the kids too. We go on Thursdays to the Sanctuary, and we meet with Brother Billy, and
it's a little bit weird.
It's great. And with David Simpkins, the music director, and the kids love it, and they've made so much progress. If you remember the beginning of the year, they thought they were going to come in all running and loud and screaming, and they have learned they come in quietly, they sit, they listen. Brother Billy always teaches about we learn a lot about miracles, and they love hearing that, and they play games, like they play something called Jesus Said So, and he'll talk about, we listen to our parents because Jesus said so, and they love,
there you go.
We go through all the things Jesus said, and they know, they get it now. And then we have taught them to say the Lord's Prayer, and they go to the altar and pray just from the heart. So that is huge. And I think over time we've just kind of added a little bit, but it's going perfect now. I want to keep that. Keep music time separately. David does a great job with that.
Certainly
the kids
does.
love it.
He loves it too.
Yeah,
I mean,
he does so good.
He's just a fit for it. I mean, some people just have a fit for what they do. He fits right in.
He didn't know he was going to be able to handle that age group so well because
Oh,
he came
is-
from the high school
yeah,
level,
but he is-
Well,
great.
when you think about it, though, David is only 4'5".
Billy,
So when you,
Billy.
well, I mean, he can relate to the younger kids. I mean, it's true. I'd test it if he was.
That's great.
I mean, I'm 98, so I have to. I'm an 88-year-old, so I mean, it all
funny.
works with the
That's
kids.
funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, David does a great job.
He does a great
and,
job.
He, like I say, he loves it. David's just a remarkable person
He
that
is
you can
great.
count on. I mean, just think about it. He leads the Jacob Louder music, leads the children music, and then comes over there on youth and worship with us, and then he's on Sunday morning.
adult choir.
With adult choir. So
Yeah.
He's a music guy.
what one man covers everything.
He does a
I
great job.
I had the unbelievable blessing of knowing his grandfather, Fess Simpkins, who was the father of Sylacauga High School music. I mean, had quite the reputation. Well, then his son, Buddy Simpkins, was also the director of the band.
Oh, wow.
And I hadn't gotten old enough to play varsity football yet, so up until that happened, I actually played the trombone in the band and knew both those guys really good. And of course, then David is the third Simpkins that comes
Okay.
along. So there's a real reputation there at Sylacauga with the name Simpkins. And David was the ball boy when I played basketball.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, a little kid that catches
Right.
someone and throws it
Right.
back to you and stuff like that. Yeah.
Was he
So-
4 or 5 back then?
He wasn't quite that tall then. You know, I think he was 1'4", but I never really checked that out.
But David's
for sure,
a great
but
guy. We love
He's
him
a great
to death.
he's a great little guy then. Oh yeah, he sure was for sure. We're blessed to have him, that's for sure.
But yeah, y'all do a great job over the
Well, thank
summer, and we, I like to say every day I drive by there, I love hollering at kids up there on the playground. You know, you pull in.
Where you going?
Pull
What are you
in.
doing?
What are you doing? What
Yeah,
you
where are you
doing?
going?
Can you throw me one of them balls that's
Yeah.
on the other side of the fence? You
Brother
know,
Billy, where are you going?
But
I
it's-
said, I'm going in here to this building right here.
Yeah.
But it's
Why?
great because when you pull up, they all run to the
The fence right there, yeah.
They love their corner spot down there in
Yeah.
the corner. They
Kind of
love
like
it.
they're in the zoo.
Yeah.
I see them putting their hands out. They'll take their hands and put them out like that. They're hilarious. I love
Right.
being around
They
them.
having a ball up there, and teachers do a great
Do you
job.
do a lot of interviewing over the summer for potentially new teachers?
Yes, we do. We've had several new teachers come in, and we have right now we're looking at people for the fall. So yeah, if anyone is interested,
Those jobs
just
are
give us a
probably
call.
pretty competitive. I would
Oh,
think
yeah.
that they're well sought after.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet they are. Yeah. Well, it seems to me like it's been a great year at Jacob's Ladder, and it just continues to build. And we had some new faces show up. Was that about halfway through the year when we had
Last
some?
year.
Yeah, we had some new people enter into our program, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Jacob's Ladder is well respected, I think, throughout the community.
It
for
is.
sure.
It
It
is.
is.
And it's a joy to be a part of when everything that you hear out of something is positive.
Yeah.
You know, it hadn't always been like that with all ministries. You know, but it is great to be a part of something that's all the feedback is always positive, and that's a joy.
I think we're all called, not necessarily to education, but we're all called to make a difference in the life of a child. Jesus is very clear about the importance of the influence we have on children.
And you better take that
he's
call
also clear
serious.
about those that have bad influence on them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
Right, but
It's all our responsibility. That's
so
for sure.
real quick, Crystal, how did you get to Cornerstone?
We'll have to ask God. I don't know.
You were just sitting at home one day,
Just,
and
I've always tried to just pray about, where I need to be. And
right.
it wasn't something I thought about and really planned, but it just happened over a series of events. And I know that was meant to be. So I'm glad to have been here. But actually, Karen Keeson, which was
Reached
the
out
board
to-
president then, we were at a softball game
Okay.
with both of our kids playing, and she started talking to me about coming to Jacob's Ladder, and I was like, okay. And then I told my husband, I'm just going to go up there and talk to him just to make her happy, because I feel like she'll keep talking to me at every
You're
game.
very wise.
If I don't, she'll just catch me at the next game. So let me go ahead and run up there and go ahead and get that done. But I had no intentions, but I do know that was a gentle nudge that I was feeling all along.
And your husband was okay, and he was 100%.
Oh,
and
yeah.
said, let's go. Let's make this happen.
Yeah.
Well, I truly
That's
believe
awesome.
you're at the right place.
Well, thank you.
Me
God's
too.
got a plan
Me
for
too.
your life, for sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
Definitely, yeah.
I'm definitely glad to be able to work with y'all, and our
And then
staff is
Ellen
great.
was instrumental in
Yes.
getting you there too, right?
Yes. That's who I went to talk to.
That's right. I remember the first time I ever met you, you were the coordinator. You were the curriculum
curriculum.
coordinator. I mean, we have those in high school.
Yeah.
I said, so the children have got a curriculum coordinator, but you seem like you fit in from the beginning.
Well,
And,
thank you.
Yeah. Well,
But that's tough, those teachers and all that you have to kind of weed through all those resumes. And
Oh, yeah.
And inevitably, you're probably going to have some changes, and you always
Yeah.
have to be prepared, I'm sure.
Right.
Well, thanks a lot for joining
yeah,
us
thank
today.
you.
I saw
It's
the-
great.
Thank you.
Great week.
Yeah,
Great
yeah.
week.
Yeah.
Just thank y'all for viewing and checking us out.
Definitely. Crystal, appreciate you, all that you
Amen.
do for us.
Thank y'all.
And thank you for being here. And David seems to be a little bit more settled down, when you're there sitting. there.
Right.
That's
She
good.
is, I'm usually up hollering and
Oh,
doing
no.
all of that. So you brought a little peace in here
Oh,
today.
good. That's good.
Most of all, thanks to you guys for watching Inside Cornerstone. You're a major part of what we're about. And if you have any questions, let us know. If you need a good school that some grandkids or nephews or nieces need to go to, give us a call at Cornerstone, because I don't think there's a better school around than Jacob's Ladder. So thanks so much for watching. Can't wait to see you again next week. Appreciate your prayers, and I hope you have a great day. God bless you all for watching. See you next week.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Amanda Scroggins with RE/MAX Around the Lake will cover every inch of Lake Martin's 880 miles of shoreline to find your family's dream home. Amanda's experience is top-notch, and she is consistently a top 10 RE/MAX agent in the state of Alabama. Her love for her clients is sincere and from the heart. Call her today at 256-749-6634 or visit her website, amandascroggins.com today.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Medicine Express Family Pharmacy, located conveniently at the corner of Airport Drive and Highway 280 in Alexander City, offers friendly service, convenient drive-through service, and can answer any questions on prescriptions and vitamins. Local family owned with 30-plus years of pharmacy experience, they also offer compounding services, which includes personalized hormone replacement, therapies, and pain gels. And they accept most insurance and discount cards. Go see them today at Medicine Express Family Pharmacy.
Inside Cornerstone welcomes Worthy and Mitchell Insurance as our brand new sponsor. These are great guys, offer all kinds of term and whole life insurance policies, and has a great cancer plan that involves radiation, chemotherapy treatments, surgery, everything that is associated with cancer. And call Skipper Worthy or Terry Mitchell today for more information, 256-329.
Looking for hometown service and name brands you can trust? Come to Presley Appliance and Furniture. From the best choice in appliances from Whirlpool, Maytag, Amana, and KitchenAid to home furnishings, Presley's is your one-stop shop for comfort and quality. And now we've added the Mattress Shop by Serta Simmons Bedding and top quality sheets and pillows from Caraloha. Shop Presley Appliance and Furniture on Cherokee Road in Alex City or online at PresleyAppliance.com. That's PresleyAppliance.com.
In an effort to take Inside Cornerstone up to another level, we're going to portray the times that it comes on. I think that's
all right. Tell us what times it comes on.
Wednesday through Friday, 1 p.m., Saturday, 6 p.m., Sunday at 6 a.m.
You got to watch it.
Join us on the way to the top. Today is one of the most difficult words to talk about when you talk about the church. And today's word is the word persecution. There's no way that you can talk about the church, even going all the way back to when Herod killed all the 2-year-olds before Jesus was born. You cannot talk about the church without talking about persecution, difficulties, tough times for those who believe. But there's a catch to this message, and the message is called the joy of persecution. So, I mean, if you'd like to leave right now, I certainly would understand. You can come back in for communion. It won't be a long message. You can come back in for communion. But that's right, the joy of persecution. And the scripture I'd like to share with you today, an overlooked scripture, and yet we know it because it is surrounded by scriptures that we know, comes from Matthew, the 5th chapter, the 11th and the 12th verse. Chapter 5 of Matthew, verses 11 and 12. And Jesus says, "Blessed are you when people insult you, persecute you, falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me. Rejoice and be glad, because great is your reward in heaven. For in the same way they persecuted the prophets who were before you." May God add His richest blessing to the reading of His word. May everything I say, everything we think be to glorify Christ. Let us pray. Amen. Thank you. Of course, most of you recognize that scripture, and you know that that is one of the Beatitudes that Jesus uses at the beginning of the Sermon on the Mount. And the greatest sermon ever preached, the Sermon on the Mount. But, you know, I've got a little hang up about the Sermon on the Mount because when I think of it, I always think of 10,000 people standing on rocks and in sand. And for us, it's a sellout, so to speak, to hear what Jesus has to say. But I'd like you to think a little differently today about that and think instead of it being a message to the multitudes that Jesus is actually talking to His 12 disciples. It just so happens there's some other people listening there too. But think just for a moment about these 12 men that simply saw Jesus walk by, left their jobs, left their families, left their boats in the water, their jobs, everything that they had to follow Jesus. For what? They didn't really know all the truth about who Jesus was. They simply trusted him when he came by them and said, "Follow me." Very little to gain, much to lose, that's for sure. And don't you know that when Jesus called these guys and they came willingly, sacrificially from their situations, don't you know that he knew that they were going to die for him? They were going to suffer for him. They were going to be ostracized for him. And so it makes sense that Jesus would talk to them numerous times about their future, what was coming. And over again in the scripture, you sort of hear a theme of Jesus trying to set it as best he could about what was going to happen to them. You know, Jesus here uses this great, and I think it's the least used of the Beatitudes that there are, but it talks very clearly about people that are going to suffer consequences of being a Christian because they followed Jesus. Bad things were going to happen, tough things were going to happen. And he started there, he went all the way to the upper room. You remember that? Jesus said to them in the upper room, "In this world you will have trouble." One even better than that, the world will hate you because of me. Now, when Jesus said those words, he just didn't say them 2000 BC or whatever that time frame looks like. He said them, I'm sure, fully well knowing that anyone who decides to follow Christ in their life and practices and lives the truth in their life are going to be persecuted all throughout the ages. The persecution of Christians, as bad as it was in that time, and there was no campaign against Christianity in the history of the world like the one in Rome. And the one in Rome was exactly the centerpiece of where they were. And they faced the awfulest tortures. And when you take that, you know, I took a copy of a thing that had all the disciples and how they died. I was going to use it today. And I just decided against it. I said, no, they all know that. I mean, I'm not going to quote it. I'm not going to read anything. But, you know, all of them lived horrible deaths except John. And John, the only reason he wasn't killed is he survived boiling oil. It didn't kill him. So they took him out and did other stuff to him. But they were put on crosses. They had their heads cut off. They had fed to the lions in front of the arenas of that time. I mean, everything you could do to a person, they had done to them. So, where are we now? There are Christians today being killed. It hasn't stopped. Every now and then, one of you guys will come in, maybe on Wednesday night, and say, did you read that article about these missionaries that went over in some place of the world and they were killed because they were Christian? It still goes on today. There are groups of people in the world today that would like to kill every Christian on earth. There's still a battle being fought. So the things that we hear Jesus say about persecution applies to us too. We need to take that into consideration. But there's a couple of things that that I think we need to think about. And here's a big one. May and June of 2024, unbelievable events occurred. In the 70s and 80s, a phenomena took place within the church, and it was called the mega church. And all over, not just this country, but the world itself, huge churches with monstrous congregations began to assemble. They went to places that could sit 20,000, and they had their services there. They had a celebrity pastor that was charismatic, that was a good speaker, that could convince them to sell everything they have and give it to the church. They preached a prosperity gospel, that they would put money into collection plates as seed faith, and they would get a return on that investment from God Himself that would be what any of us would call a great deal. I couldn't help but laugh reading about one lady's comments on that era. She said, I loved the prosperity sermons that I heard at church until I realized that the only person that was prospering was the pastor, the preacher. And then I began to think. And what happened was in 2023, just a few months after 26 pastors of mega churches resigned or were fired within 60 miles of Dallas. 26 pastors, leaders of these mega churches either resigned or were fired. Most of them because of financial stealing, many of them because of immoral dealings that they had within their congregation. I mean, that's not a good sermon, and I would never do a sermon on what they did to bring that about. But I think everybody knows what was going on during that time. Well, when you came to church, you didn't go to a service. You went to a presentation. You went to something like a 5-star movie. The music was professional. The cameras were like Hollywood. Everything was made just right to gain the interest of these huge crowds that would come. When COVID hit in 2023, it gave all of these thousands and thousands of people that were attending the mega churches a chance to go home and reflect on what they were actually seeing. And that was the beginning of the fall of the mega churches. You know, David, this is the only time you'll hear me brag on technology. I'm never going to brag on it, except this time I can't help it. Technology was a huge part of what happened to the mega churches and the reason that they fell. And it was because there were so many people out there that could use the venues of social media, and they could spread what was considered to be the truth about what was going on in these churches. And people began to dig, and they began to get people that would investigate these situations, and they took a look. And many of these churches had a budget of over $100 million. We're going to have a finance meeting coming up this week. We won't be talking about $100 million that we took in. I mean, that bogs the mind. I mean, you can't even believe that. I'd love to go further, but I've got a big jet waiting on me right outside, and I got to fly over to Ethiopia somewhere, and they're going to make a donation to the church, you know. I mean, and it just goes on and on and on with the elevators that connect to 18 bedrooms and the swimming pools and all the trips that were taken. During COVID, these young, especially young people that were going to these mega churches, had some time to think and to watch and to figure some things out. And 2024 was the beginning of the downfall of the mega churches. And today, I mean, they're struggling tremendously. And their elements, as I said, was a celebrity pastor, a message that promoted prosperity, pretty much, finances that built buildings that you couldn't believe, thousands and thousands of vehicles in parking lots. It just goes on and on and on. And today, they're broke. They're hurting, and things aren't going well. Now, you say, why are you telling us this story? I'm telling you this story to say this. They weren't persecuted. That's not persecution. That is circumstances that developed because man took God's church and turned it into an entertainment industry. And the result that we see is mismanagement of the church. People being the focal point of the church. Ministers, pastors that are raking in millions and millions of dollars not to sell the truth of Christ, but to sell an investment plan that benefits only that pastor or the 35 people that work for him. I mean, that's what happened. And this is biblical. You know, we try to always be biblical. If you want to see this in the Bible, then you go to Revelation. Revelation has that chapter on the 7 churches. One of the churches in Revelations, the writer talks to that church and said, you know, you've been Christians a long time. I've seen you do a lot of good things, but right now I'm not seeing that. And the author says, you've lost your first love. Go back the way you used to be. Go back to the way that it was in the beginning. That's who you are. Go back to your first love. Now, I mean, here we sit on the heels of the fall of the church. The mega church was the church in the United States at this particular time. That was it. And there was no vision that it would ever fail or it would ever fall at all. And yet it did. Not because of persecution, because people, instead of going back to their first love, which is Christ, they decided to focus on themselves. That the face of the church were people, pastors, leaders that took stands. All we have to do to survive this is to remember how it was at first. To remember what made this church active as it is now. And it's Jesus Christ. That's what made this church what it is today. Christ and the focus on Christ. You're not being discriminated against or suffering as the disciples did in their ministries because you made bad decisions, because you put something else other than Christ as the most important thing in your church. That's not persecution. That's poor management. There was another church in there we'll just mention for a second, and it was the church at Laodicea. You remember that one? Would you be hot or cold, but because you are lukewarm, I will spew you out of my mouth. Not persecute you, but reject you. Because you're lukewarm. You don't do things 100%. I'm getting into the football stuff now. But you're not out there giving all you've got. You're just lukewarm. I had a pastor come up to me the other day, I think this is nationwide, and said, we're going to have to do away with our summer services. What? Why would you do away with your summer church services? Because 9/10 of our congregation go to travel ball. Nobody's ever here in the summer. We can't make it. We can't pay the bills. We can't pay the air conditioning or do the things that we want to do because we're so impacted by travel ball. Now, I love sports as much as anybody in this room. That's being lukewarm. That's not being hot or cold. I'd love to be here, but see, for the next 7 weeks, I've got some vacations going on in my life. I know you'll understand, but I won't be here. That's lukewarm for me. Should you be hot or cold because you're lukewarm, I will spew you out of my mouth. So the real thing that I want to kind of close out on is, how do we in our life deal with persecution? The first, as we kind of close, the first thing I want to mention to you is everybody is going to get persecuted. Everybody. When I think of persecution, I don't think of, in my personal life, I mean, we had that thing in Coleman County, that prayer event, and the Freedom from Religion people. They protested, wanted me fired and put in prison and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, that's what they do. They persecute Christians. I get that. But when I think of persecution, I don't think of them. They don't know what they're talking about, What I think about when I think about persecution is when I was in high school. When all my buddies wanted to do something that I knew was wrong. That my pastor had said in church one day, Christians don't do this, and there I was with 7 of my football buddies sitting around with those kind of temptations, and I take a stand and say, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to do that. And then 4 or 5 of them gives me a hard time about it. And say, what do you mean you're not going to do that? And stuff like that. When I think of persecution, I think of going to a coaching clinic where most of those guys are my good friends and 3/4 of them are drunk. And I came in there, and this is a get-together for the leaders of the high school boys in the state of Alabama. And then I know that I have a choice. I can participate in that activity and become one of those, or I can set myself up for some smart remarks. Oh, yeah, there's that Coach Coleman over there. He thinks he's a goody-goody, or whatever they say. This is what our young people face. Our young people face that. The sexual choices that they make come under tremendous scrutiny. They're not accepted by their friends or their peers unless they're doing something that's not consistent with God's. That's persecution. Persecution is isolation. Persecution is to try to impose things on other people that they don't feel like they should do. But you think they should because that's what you do. What you or me and our friends do. And we want the other people to do that too because it makes us feel better about who we are. That's the kind of persecution our teenagers face. And when I'm talking about it, some of you are saying it's not just the teenagers. It's everybody. Persecution is everywhere. And the good news behind this is very simple. The scripture that I read to you today is, blessed or those who are, when you're insulted or persecuted, because the prophets were also doing that, and rejoice and be glad. Why? Because great is your reward in heaven. There it is, right there. Every day of our life, we have the opportunity to live such a way that we're going to be rewarded for it. Number one, because the person that we're serving actually died for us. He wasn't a fake. It was the real thing. He died on the cross for us. And when we serve him, we get some brownie points up in heaven. And when we do stuff down in the world that causes people to get on to us, what pulls us through in that moment is that we're going to be rewarded for that. My parents told me how I was supposed to act. I didn't always personally agree with them. Sometimes I said, that's my parents, stuff like that. But I'll never forget when I went to a carnival. And when I went to the carnival, my dad gave me $20. And that's pretty impressive when you can spend $20 in front of your little girl date, in front of her, you know. So I had my $20, and I walked into the carnival, and one of those guys called me over to the side, and in at least 1 minute and 50 seconds, he had all $20 that I had. I mean, I was down. And so it was probably 10:30 or 11 o'clock at night. And I went home. I walked into the bedroom where my parents were, and I said, you know that $20 you gave me? I just lost it at the carnival. And I told him about the stupid game that I played that got my money. And I'll never forget my father saying, that's the best $20 you'll ever spend. And he's right. You can ask Shereen. I'm tight as a banjo. I think it's because of that. But let me tell you something I can't hardly say, okay? And we're fixing to have communion. But the hardest thing is telling your dad. Maybe not about that. That's kind of stupid, but other things. The hardest people to say anything to are the people that you love the most. To go in there, I mean, I think of you guys, and you know, I love y'all. And by the way, nobody wants to see my picture anywhere. but I love you guys. If I had to stand up in front of y'all and tell you something that maybe I had done that I shouldn't have done, and I had to tell a lot of you, that would be the worst of all. Because to tell the people who have put their faith and trust in you that you couldn't live up to that and you did something really stupid or maybe really bad, that's really hard. Because you're letting down the very people that tried to help you. You're letting down the very people who tried to help you. And exactly where does Jesus fall in that? I can't speak for anybody else in here, but he died for me. He went on the cross, and he hung on the cross, and he died for me. And that is why we can take the persecution. Because of that. And we will be rewarded for that in heaven. And we will be reunited with Christ in heaven. And that will be our reward. And I'm going to cut this out, but what I was fixing to do is to read you two scriptures, one out of Philippians and another one out of Romans. And I'm not going to do that so we can get started with communion, but where Paul says to live is Christ. Anything I do is for Christ. And I live for that. Or how about, I fought the good fight. I have finished the race. And now I wait for my reward in heaven. All of us, that's how we overcome the bad stuff. We overcome it because Christ died for us so that we could have the strength to overcome it. And number two, that we're going to be rewarded for it one day when we go to heaven. I know some people that, man, when they go to heaven, they're going to have they're going to have some real riches because good people who've given their life to follow Christ. And if they're keeping count up top somewhere, they're going to be rewarded for it.
Medicine Express Family Pharmacy, located conveniently at the corner of Airport Drive and Highway 280 in Alexander City, offers friendly service, convenient drive-through service, and can answer any questions on prescriptions and vitamins. Local family owned with 30-plus years of pharmacy experience, they also offer compounding services, which includes personalized hormone replacement, therapies, and pain gels. And they accept most insurance and discount cards. Go see them today at Medicine Express Family Pharmacy.
Amanda Scroggins with RE/MAX Around the Lake will cover every inch of Lake Martin's 880 miles of shoreline to find your family's dream home. Amanda's experience is top-notch, and she is consistently a top 10 RE/MAX agent in the state of Alabama. Her love for her clients is sincere and from the heart. Call her today at 256-749-6634 or visit her website, amandascroggins.com, today.
Looking for hometown service and name brands you can trust? Come to Presley Appliance and Furniture. From the best choice in appliances from Whirlpool, Maytag, Amana, and KitchenAid to home furnishings, Presley's is your one-stop shop for comfort and quality. And now we've added the Mattress Shop by Serta Simmons Bedding and top quality sheets and pillows from Caraloha. Shop Presley Appliance and Furniture on Cherokee Road in Alex City or online at PresleyAppliance.com. That's PresleyAppliance.com.
Inside Cornerstone welcomes Worthy and Mitchell Insurance as our brand new sponsor. These are great guys, offer all kinds of term and whole life insurance policies, and has a great cancer plan that involves radiation, chemotherapy treatments, surgery, everything that is associated with cancer. And call Skipper Worthy or Terry Mitchell today for more information, 256-329.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
In an effort to take Inside Cornerstone up to another level, we're going to portray the times that it comes on. I think that's
all right. Tell us what times it comes on.
Wednesday through Friday, 1 p.m., Saturday, 6 p.m., Sunday at 6 a.m.
You got to watch it.
Join us on the way to the top.